Guys, this is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. Welcome one, welcome all to another special edition Midnight Mass. Welcome everyone to Midnight Mass. I'm your host, Steele, You're watching Steven Steele Live, Midnight Mass Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, great to have each and every one of you with us tonight into the late night. Feeling out of sight, pretty all right on technically a Friday night, but I say it's still Thursday. Who do we got in the chat? We got Esteban. We've got Bang Stun RW, Zombie Doge Army, Comma DeLuffy, Alan Schneider, Marie Potter. Welcome, Marie. Who else we got in here? Hump Deezy, Nick as well. Nick Parmy, Larry Ramirez, good to see you in the mix again. Audio Freak, Hector the Dude. What stream would be completed without Hector the Dude in the mix? Anthony Grant, haven't seen you in the mix for a bit. Great to have you back in the fold. And thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel and get a lot of value for very little. It's just, sorry, I just dropped my microphone. It's just $4 a month to become a member, and you get a lot back for that. You get a lot of material for that. Most notably, the members only streams, which I do a minimum of a couple times a week. So thank you, Anthony. Keith, good to see you in the mix. Who else do we got? TJ Braymiller. TJ, where you been, man? It's been a couple weeks. Louis Doge, good to see you as well. Sliding Edge, of course. Of course, we got the Sliding Edge and the Hizza. I already got to Nick. Audio Freak, yes. Michael, good to see you, Michael. Did I leave anyone else out? I think I got to everyone. Oh, Crypto Daniel and the X-Pac. Good to see you guys. Greek Cigar Freak. Whoa, Greek Cigar Freak. And Hunter Wayne. Good to see you, Hunter. Greek Cigar Freak is another one of those names I haven't seen in the chat for a while. I keep track. The Rolodex is all here, baby. When some of you guys, you fall out of touch for a few weeks, I notice, and I notice when you're back, so I know how life is. We're always here. First Super Chat of the night. I love it. Jason Huffman, our favorite jet-setting supporter. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. $5 super sticker. Appreciate you. Before we get started, if I could just ask you to hit that like button. It's the simplest, easiest, number one thing you can do to help the channel out. So if you haven't hit that like button, if I could just ask you to do it quickly, hugely appreciate it. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you and invite you to join our awesome community here that's been growing really exponentially, particularly over the last month or so. And so we'd love to have you be a part of this eccentric little community that we have here. Just hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell, and you're in like Flynn. And lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's really appreciated for all the time and efforts put in. Helps offset it all and make it all possible, frankly. So let's see. Comma DeLuffy. Sorry, I almost missed your super chat. Thank you for the $2 super sticker, Comma DeLuffy. Appreciate you. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Great to see you. Got some interesting things to talk about tonight. And some really, really kind of quirky things have happened since the last time we talked, guys, on the air about a little less than 24 hours ago. And I'm going to get down to all of them. Believe it. Sliding Edge celebrating 7 months of membership. Appreciate the continued support, Sliding Edge. Milestone Midnight. Doge dips are Dogertunities. So we have seen just very recently the market is kind of in a bit of an upturn right now. Going into the weekend here, which is what Nick and I kind of predicted, I do think it's very probable that this keeps ascending into the weekend and into next week. I don't think things are going to get wildly bullish, okay, into the weekend, but I do think things are going to keep steadily getting on an increase as we pull out of this out of these market-wide corrections, frankly. So that much I feel fairly certain of. And right now, things are looking really good. Bitcoin coming in almost at 57,000 right now. This is the pretty much the most movement we've seen all day. So who knows? Things could very well continue. Maybe you could attribute it to the Steele effect. But I want to break to something here because we are really seeing some incredibly bullish momentum from Bitcoin just since we got on the air here. Let me shrink down the chart so you can see the latest on what's going on there. Look at the size of that green weenie, ladies and gentlemen. Let's zoom in on it. Just wow. That just happened since we've been on the air, as Bitcoin looks like it's going to cross the threshold of 57,000. Let's see how the rest of the market's corresponding to that, shall we? I'm checking on it right now. So Doge is looking decent. I would say it's at a modest incline right now, nearing in on 21 cents. Ethereum at about 1% up over the last half hour, nearing in on 4,600. Let's see, XRP is doing the exact same thing at about 98 cents. Lunaterra, that was one of the picks that I told you guys in the main show to watch out for. I really think Lunaterra is going to continue to ascend over the next couple of months and start breaking loose. Lunaterra is up about a percentage over the last hour, but it's up almost 10%, almost 11% over the last 24 hours. I do expect that to keep going up. AVAX, of course, another one of our favorite DeFi projects in these parts. It's down for today. It's definitely in a correction, but it's not terribly surprising considering how much recent momentum it's gotten over the last month. It's still up about 64% over the last month, but it's down about 7%. I don't expect that to last long before it ascends again. And SHIB, for those of you who are SHIB holders, SHIB is down very significantly today. Very significant corrections, about 4% down for the 24-hour window, and down dramatically over the last week, even more so than most of the other top cryptocurrencies. But this most recent ascension and bullish momentum with Bitcoin, it just started. So it usually takes a little bit for the rest of the market to correspond here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just started seeing the rest of the market correspond to this most recent bullish break from Bitcoin over the last few minutes. Hump DZ coming in with a $20 super chat. Gotta MC at a buddy's Air Force retirement ceremony in the AM. So gotta check out. Catch y'all later. Peace out. Hump DZ, I wish you the best, man. I didn't know you were an MC, my friend. And not that it comes to any surprise, but Hump DZ, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your generous super chat and your support of the show. We all love the Hump DZ in these parts. Appreciate you. Catch you later. See you on the next show, Hump DZ. Enjoy yourself, and I hope everything goes smoothly tomorrow. Let's see. Nick, I will look for you on Twitter, and I'll figure that out. Okay. Sliding Edge, my trading group. Believe a loop ring breakout in 3 weeks. Your thoughts? My trading group believes a loop ring breakout in 3 weeks. Your thoughts? From what I've seen of loop ring, that seems like a fairly probable scenario. The only thing I would caution you with is loop ring has been so incredibly bullish over the last month that anybody entering in right now very well could be entering in at all-time high levels for quite some time before it's sees any more significant gains. Okay, guys, so just be careful. That being said, I do see a lot of room for loop ring to continue to ascend. I just don't know if that's going to happen within the next couple weeks, or I could see it kind of stalling out and trading sideways for the next several months, frankly. I'm from what I looked into, I could see it going either way there. Jason Huffman coming in with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. Super appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for literally helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. Contributing to Steele headquarters. I love it. Thank you so much you are literally contributing to keeping the lights on over here at Steele HQ, keeping the internet on. I just paid an enormous internet bill because I recently upgraded to like the fastest speed possible for this show, so to ensure that the streams run smoothly all the time. Consequentially, they didn't tell me that a modem switch out for that fastest speed was an additional $200. They didn't tell me till afterwards, and I was like, oh, come on. Gotta be kidding. Sliding Edge coming in with a $2 to make you holler. Hump Deezy, do the Humpty Hump. I'm sure he's heard that before, and who knows, at one time, maybe he's got a story where he once got dizzy in the Burger King bathroom. Guys, there was actually a really good documentary by this guy who's responsible, what is he called? The snake diet, snake juice diet. You hear this guy, Cole? He's quite a personality. He's quite a bold personality. Anyway, he did like this mini self-made documentary that basically proved that McDonald's is a lot healthier than Subway and like fast food sub sandwich places. And it's not very difficult for me to believe, because when you think about it, like places like Subway, it's predominantly all bread. It's predominantly all, processed carbs, where at least I actually think burgers get a bad rap. I never considered burgers to be terribly unhealthy, aside from maybe the bun, like if it's just got a bleached white bun or whatever. But outside of that, you're talking about lean protein, you're talking about vegetables, and maybe a few condiments. It's usually what's surrounding the burger that's unhealthy, right? So a lot of times people attribute that bad health to burgers when it's not really the burger, in my opinion. It's the fries, it's the soft drinks, it's the milkshakes, things like that. Anyway, quite the tangent there, right? Loop Ring I got into late. Keith Havens. I got to give it up to is Crypto Batman. Crypto Batman called that one Loop Ring a little while ago before any of its parabolic ascendancy. He also called Crow. I got to hand it to him. He called Crow and Loop Ring ahead of schedule. I don't know if he abided by his own advice, though, because I know he a few times has cashed out his entire portfolio and has had to start over. God bless Crypto Batman. What a character. I love that guy. All right. Let's see. Let's get down to it, boppers. What do we got first here on the roster? We've got... Okay. At the top of it, this comes courtesy of Forbes. Sounds like BS. Elon Musk slams radical new tech and boosts the price of Dogecoin as Ethereum and Bitcoin struggle. Guys, I got a lot. I hope you're cool with a lot of Elon news, because I got a lot of Elon news to get to tonight. It's just what's popping. It's just what's happening. He's given us a lot of material, which should just come as no surprise. But what is coming for a surprise is Jason Huffman coming in with a huge, mega, big Doge. Not one we see very often. Big Doge, big energy with $100 super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. We love you, appreciate you. He says, for that internet bill. Dude, thank you so much. Honestly, I just paid an internet bill that was $400, and $200 of it was from that dang modem. And they shut off my internet. I didn't even realize why, because I'm like, I don't think I'm that behind. But what put me behind was that dang $200 modem. So thank you so much, Jason. Appreciate it, man. Hugely appreciate it. You're such a tremendous supporter of the show and this community. Everyone give it up for Jason Huffman, coming in with big Doge energy as always. Thank you, man. Seriously, I'm terribly humbled, and literally it's just like, it's stuff like that allows me to do this every stinking night. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sliding Edge coming in with a $2 super chat. What is your preferred crypto exchange for altcoins? Interesting. I really like Voyager still. I know that the wallets on there are select. Some coins have them, some coins don't. For even smaller market cap alt projects, I just go through Trust Wallet, man. I make sure it's available on the BSC the BSC chain, because I'm a little skittish of most ERC 20 based altcoins for obvious reasons. The fees are just absolutely crazy, astronomical. So you gotta at least triple your money on a small ERC investment these days just to break even, guys. Just to break even. So if you're thinking about just an ERC 20 based project, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever, I'll just put not too much, $200 worth of Ethereum into it, no big deal. Hold up. You're going to have to clear at least $600 worth of Ethereum just to break even after taxes and gas fees. So just make sure that you're very sure and you feel very good about that project if it's an ERC20 before you make that investment. Steven, do you have Spectrum? Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I do. To transfer off Voyager, the fees are a bit up there. You're going to get fees with any exchange, even Robinhood. Robinhood takes it out on you in other ways. They're getting their money either way. Now, that being said, you kind of get what you pay for with many of the exchanges too. I gotta say, overall, now every major crypto platform is going to have its pros and cons, but overall, we are talking about. I still look, and I've started campaigning for Voyager to release Dogecoin wallets. If you want to look, I just tweeted about it for the first time yesterday, and I'm starting a full-blown campaign. Yesterday was the very beginning of it. I'm not letting that go. I'm grabbing onto that cause like a bulldog, and I'm not going to relent until Voyager delivers on Robinhood. Voyager delivers on Robinhood wallets. Voyager delivers on Dogecoin wallets, because I think it's a phenomenal platform in a lot of ways. They just need to speed up some of their transaction speeds on transfers, as far as when you take stuff off and send it. When you take certain coins off that do have wallets and send them, they need to speed up those transaction speeds. And then they also need Dogecoin wallets. Everything else I love about Voyager. I think it's super intuitive. It's super fast in terms of being able to deposit more funds from your bank. That happens in terms of cashing out and converting crypto to fiat and throwing it in your bank. Super easy, super fast. Everything's like super easy and fast and very comprehensive and very easy to understand. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm super busy. And so when I'm making investments and when I want to tinker around my portfolio, I don't want like super busy, in-depth stuff to look at. I don't need things to be super confusing and like all these additional steps before I can even execute a trade. Because as you know, even way more so than stocks, time is of the essence. Yeah, time is of the essence in the crypto market. So I love a trading app that I can one-hand it with, quick look what I'm doing, and say, okay, this is a good buy-in point. Boom, bam. What? I need more capital. Okay, quick move some capital over from my bank account, my checking account, into my Voyager account. Boom, happens within 2 minutes. Boom, done again. Solidified, right? So despite its shortcomings, I'm still a big fan of Voyager for those reasons. Slide and Edge, where's your Voyager shill link, bro? I need that referral link. Yeah, I guess I haven't shilled my Voyager code in a long time, but let me just give you my partnership code. When you sign up for Voyager, you can use my partnership code. That means there's usually a waiting list for Voyager because it got so popular over the last year, but you bypass the waiting list, so you'll get same-day approval, number one. That's the first thing my referral code would do. The second thing it will do, it will give you $25 in free Bitcoin when you start trading on the platform. And what's really cool about that is you don't have to keep that in Bitcoin. You can transfer that $25 in Bitcoin to any cryptocurrency you want that they offer on their platform. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So the referral code, the partnership code, my Voyager partnership code, it's called, is in the chat right now. I'm putting in the chat right now in case anyone wants. And all you do is when you sign up for an account on Voyager on your phone, if there will be a place where you can enter a referral code. You enter that referral code that's in the chat there, and that will give you, again, it'll fast track your approval and give you $25 in free Bitcoin. Let's see. Keith says, I'm a very compassionate man, and I tased the F out of a tweaker. Wow, and I had a okay, and I'm exhausted. Tweak. Wow. I don't know what happened. That person sounded like they're probably really out of control in order for you to take that sort of action, Keith. Be careful out there, man. Be careful out there. Yeah, there's some wilding out folks out there, guys. Just watch your backs. Anyway, back to this Elon story. Don't get it twisted, guys. I love the tangents that we have here. But anyway, this comes courtesy of Forbes. Sounds like BS. Elon slams radical new tech and boosts the price of Dogecoin as Bitcoin and Ethereum struggle. Elon Musk, a controversial figure among the cryptocurrency community, has once again endorsed the somewhat satirical Bitcoin rival Dogecoin, sending its price slightly higher. The price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrencies have been struggling, with Bitcoin failing to regain ground over 60,000 per Bitcoin, and Ethereum's dropping back to around its all-time highs. Musk said via Twitter that Web3, the idea that a decentralized version of the internet that some think could use crypto technology, will eventually replace the Silicon Valley-centric Web 2.0. Sounds like BS, and flagged Dogecoin in a reply to report that high Ethereum transaction fees are locking investors out of decentralized finance. So, to be more specific, he responded to this article on Twitter with Doge, and he spelled it with 4 O's. That's why I have that in my thumbnail art. It's spelled like that with the 4 O's. And in response, Musk responding saying Web3 sounds like BS. I thought nothing could be nuttier than 99, referring to the late 90s .com bubble that saw investors pour billions of dollars into the internet-based companies that eventually collapsed. Meanwhile, Musk continued his support of the dog-based cryptocurrency, tweeting Doge, in response to a report from crypto news outlet CoinDesk that eye-wateringly high Ethereum transaction fees are preventing smaller investors from being able to access DeFi exchanges. DeFi, using crypto technology to recreate traditional finance services without the need for banks or financial institutions, has seen a major surge of interest over the last recent years as investors pile into the space. This week, co-founder Jack Dorsey left the social network ostensibly to work on Web3 development, as well as his payment company Square, now rebranded Block. I liked Square just fine. Now it's just called Block. Not very appealing branding. Sometimes I feel like between figures like Dorsey and Zuckerberg, these guys, for as brilliant as they are, I feel like they're just as disconnected as they are brilliant. Just as disconnected as they are brilliant. And I don't know how this is going to shake out. I think most people were just fine with the sleek simplicity and the branding of Square. And that's become part of people's lexicon, too. I can tell you as a small retail business owner, I conduct, Square transactions on the regular, and people have, grown accustomed to that in their vernacular. Oh, Square? Oh, you do Square? Okay, do Square? Now people are going to be like, oh, do you have Block? Do you have Block? I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't sound the same. It doesn't feel the same. Do they even talk to anyone outside of their yes men to bounce these things off? Sometimes I really doubt it. Folks. And even like Facebook switching to Meta, folks. I don't think this is a foregone conclusion yet. I don't think you'll hear this on many other channels, but I'm not saying that the metaverse is not going to be wildly successful in the future. But at the same time, I'm not saying that it is going to be. This is still a great experiment. My inclination is that the metaverse is going to be keep progressing, is going to be keep catching on in popularity. Okay, but at the same time, I don't think this is gonna. I think there's a good chance it's not going to completely dominate our worlds like we're being told it's going to. So be very careful with not so much the main DeFi platforms. I'm not really worried about those. Your Mana, your Sandbox, your Engine, your AVAX. I'm not really worried about those. I'm worried about people spending incredible amounts of money on virtual property. And things of that nature. And then obviously all the countless spin-off low market cap projects, a lot of those are going to fail too. But some of those are going to make people very, very wealthy. And I will say, to put some counterbalance to what I'm talking about here, I will say that I am convinced that DeFi is going to make a lot of millionaires, a lot of billionaires. So don't get it twisted. I just want to make sure you guys are keeping a healthy balance on the prospects and expectations of the metaverse. I guess that's what I'm saying. Let's see here. Guys, if you haven't smashed that like button, if you could just do that really quick. It's the number one thing you can do to help the channel out. If you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It's great to have you with us tonight. I'd invite you to join our community, so feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit all on that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. I think Saturn's my next stop after that. Mary in New York says, Voyager's not available in New York, unfortunately. Yes, that is true. New York, anyone living in New York as it relates to cryptocurrency laws and restrictions, I really feel for you because they have a lot of them in New York. They have a lot of them. Let's see what's going on. Making sure I'm not overlooking anything in the chat. Okay, I think we're caught up. Folks. So, yeah, I think we covered that story just fine. Now let's go to the next one. This one comes courtesy of Ben Zinga. If you had $1,000 right now, this is the title of the article. Don't shoot the messenger, gang. If you had $1,000 right now, would you put it on Dogecoin or Floki Inu? Every week, Benzinga conducts a survey to collect sentiment on what traders are most excited about, interested in, or thinking about as they manage and build their personal portfolios. This week, we pose the following question to over 1,000 Benzinga readers on cryptocurrency investing. If you had $1,000 right now, would you put it on Dogecoin or would you put it on Floki Inu? And the results were Dogecoin winning the survey at a little bit over 60%. Floki Inu coming in with 39.7%. Let's see here. Dogecoin has been trading a little over 21 cents at the time of the press. Meanwhile, Floki Inu trading higher, about 15% at around a bunch of zeros. So, yeah, that comes as no surprise. But I will say, Floki got a little bit bigger of a chunk than I would anticipate. So it's testament to their marketing anyway. But far and away, look, I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in Floki Inu, but in terms of utility, in terms of movement, in terms of future plans and prospects, Dogecoin is far and away the number one priority as I see it. Let's see what's going on. Sliding Edge coming in with a $2 make you holler. Officially shilling. New Voyager is done. New Voyager count is done. Awesome. Thank you. And as you get $25 in free Bitcoin, I do too. I do as well. So thank you for that, Sliding Edge. Appreciate it. And if anybody else wants $25 in free Bitcoin, you can use my partnership code. Get instant approval through Voyager. I'll put it one more time in the chat. There we go. Free money. Oh, and I will say the monthly interest rates in Voyager are incredibly competitive. They're really good. You accumulate monthly interest on most every major crypto in there. It adds up. I mean, their interest rates are like anywhere from like 3% to like 10%. Seriously, 10% on some of these coins. It's wild. Sound Gods, I've been a bad boy. What do you... I don't even know how to respond to that. It sounds like a lyric from... What was that girl's name in the 90s? Fiona Apple. I've been a bad boy. Except she said girl. That was her big hit. Her big seminal hit. Criminal. You couldn't go anywhere without a girl playing Fiona Apple in her car or in her... What were they playing back then? iPods. First generation iPod. You remember the iPod is like kind of this big and it had the big dial. And then they came out the iPod mini. I remember I used to work out with playlists that I made on my iPod mini, and then I got like a Velcro armband for my iPod mini that I wrapped around my bicep. And then I'd run laps and I'd work out with my iPod mini on my bicep. Memories. You know what? Honestly, I'd rather use the iPod mini than your phone. The phone is big and bulky and heavy. I mean, I'm actually, now that I think about it more, I'm kind of bummed I still don't have my iPod mini. I lost it over the years. The Zune, I remember the Zune. Wasn't that Neil? I want to say Neil Diamond, but no, it was Neil Young's led venture, I think. No, Neil Young had a different one. I forget what it was called, but it prided itself in super high resolution audio file quality. But Zune, wow, the Zune, right? The Zune was pretty big. I mean, before, yeah, the iPod really popularized the shuffle feature. That's for sure. Let's see here. What else do we got, folks? This one comes courtesy of BGR. Now you can buy the Nothing Ear wireless earbuds with Dogecoin. This is a new company that I've heard about before called Nothing Ear. Super lightweight, in-ear wireless headphones. And they accept Dogecoin as of yesterday for all their products, not just their earphones. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to like go deep diving into like a product review or something, unless they want to send me a free pair of headphones, maybe. But it's just another little nice step towards adoption. The leader of Facebook's stalled cryptocurrency project is leaving the company. Now this comes courtesy of The Verge. Facebook cryptocurrency chief David Marcus announced today that he's leaving the company. The former PayPal executive joined Facebook in 2014 to run Messenger, but eventually took over plans to launch a new cryptocurrency and wallet known at the time as Libra and Calibra, respectively. After some pre-Meta name changes, the digital wallet launched with a small pilot in October under the name Novi, but only used in two countries, the US and Guatemala, and support for a single form of crypto. In the post on his Facebook page and Twitter, Marcus says, while there's still so much to do right on the heels of hitting an important milestone with Novi launching, and I remain as passionate as ever about the need for a change in payment and financial systems, my entrepreneurial DNA has been nudging me for too many mornings in a row to continue ignoring it. So, what do I make of this? What do we make of this? This is a pretty major stepping down. This is a pretty major walking away from Zuck's team. Again, to me, this speaks volumes for him to step down at this time at such a pivotal moment in the switching over of Facebook's branding to Meta. I think there's trouble in paradise. As I've said before, I don't think Meta is as well thought out and planned as Zuckerberg perhaps wants you to think. I think he's taking an enormous gamble, a big gamble. Most of you know that the majority of heavy Facebook users these days are pretty much our parents and grandparents and older relatives who like to keep up with where their kids, their grandkids, their nieces and nephews are in some loose way, while arguing with each other over what they saw on the televised news. That's pretty much what Facebook has devolved into, is boomers arguing about what they saw on TV news, and I mean, I logged in and I just actually took a look around in my timeline for the first time in like many moons on Facebook the other day, and I was like, "Yep." I'm like, "Wow, is this obnoxious?" Yeah, it's just like just boomers arguing about current affairs and politics and things like that nature. Not very pleasant, not very nice. Anyway, so you mean to tell me that all of these people are going to readily adapt and buy big headsets to put over their eyes, and they're going to delve into the metaverse over the course of a couple weeks? I don't see it happening. Now, I'm not saying that Meta is not going to eventually be very successful, but this is not a foregone conclusion. You're talking about a lot of people that use Facebook right now that barely have it figured it out under its current platform. They barely have it figured it out under its current level of technology, and now you're throwing the metaverse at them. And then I guess the big anticipation is that this is going to bring in tons of new users, a younger user base again. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. That might happen. I almost feel like it's too late for that. I feel like younger people have just moved on to different forms of communication, different ways of keeping in touch and engaging with others. I'm not sure this is going to be successful or not. And the fact that one of his key right-hand men have stepped down during this time, I don't know, really says something. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Sir Rob, welcome to the chat. We've got James Kaminsky snuck in here somewhere. Neil Young had Pano. Pano, thank you for that, James. Yes, Pano. That was actually a really cool idea. I think someone else brought it up too. RW. Neil's was called Pano, had great sound, but was a strange trapezoid shape. That's right. It was a trapezoid shape, RW. Pano, thank you. I remember hearing him talk about and promote Pano on Letterman late one night, and I love the idea of it because I love the idea of a super, I don't know, like an MP, like a digital file music player for the audio file, right? And it was supposed to be just the highest grade of quality. I don't know if he did it through, because MP3s aren't the highest level of quality. I don't know if Pano just had a ton of room on it where it could hold a bunch of WAV files. I'm not sure how that worked, but I'm sure there's a whole story on. I could look up. I'm sure somebody on YouTube has done like a mini documentary on the rise and fall of Pano. That'd actually be pretty interesting. Let's see. I think, old man, take a look at my Doge. I'm headed to the moon. Yeah, that's my Neil Young. Old man, take a look at your Doge. And then, not to be confused with Neil Diamond. You know, I know this is kind of a controversial thing to say. What I'm about to say is, I think I prefer Neil Diamond to Neil Young. And I say this as someone who loves both of the Neils. Let me be very clear about that. I know what I'm saying is probably sacrilegious to some folks here, but I actually really like Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond had some really good ones. I'm trying to think of my favorite Neil Diamond songs. And not Sweet Caroline. I'm not talking about that. I could gladly go through the rest of my life and never hear Sweet Caroline ever again and be totally cool with that. Oh yeah. Shiloh. Shiloh's a good one. Let's look at the lyrics to Shiloh. What's your favorite Neil Diamond song, you guys? You're not allowed to say Sweet Caroline. You can say anything else with Sweet Caroline. Oh, yeah. Young child with dreams, dream every dream on your own. When children play, seems like you end up alone. Papa said he loved to be with you if he had the time. So you turn on the only friend you can find there in your mind. Shiloh, when I was young, I used to call your name when no one else would come. Shiloh, you always came and we'd play. Okay, that's it. It kind of makes me, I think I know what I want to do next time I go out for karaoke. I think I want to know what I want to do next time I do karaoke. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Hopefully I didn't make your pets at home. Hopefully I didn't put them through too much anguish and misery there. Alan says, I still play 45 records. Me too, me too. Laserdisc. I like the concept of the Laserdisc. My name is Neil Diamond Hands. That'd be a really good, obvious YouTube moniker, right? YouTube name. Neil Diamond Hands. I like that. September Morning, good song, Neil Diamond. I agree, very good song, RW. Sweet dozen lines. Bum, bum, bum. Cherry, great pick, Mama Crypto. Yes. Oh my gosh. You guys. Okay. Let's get back to it. The Pano is what brought it on. Is thinking about the Pano. That's what started all of this. The trapezoidal shaped MP3 player. Oh my goodness gracious. You never know what you get at midnight mass, guys. You never know what you get at midnight mass. Okay, this one's a doozy. Next story here. This one comes courtesy of FX Street. Guess what, folks? India isn't banning cryptocurrency after all. We'll make it an asset class instead. A cabinet note distributed to the Indian government proposes that cryptocurrency be registered as a separate asset class. A week after a bill introduced by Indian lawmakers raised the possibility of all cryptocurrency being banned, the country has planned to regulate it as an asset class instead. A cabinet note distributed proposed that all forms of cryptocurrency be registered as a separate asset class outside regular currency known as crypto assets and fall under India's Securities Regulator, Securities and Exchange Board of India. They call it the SEBI over there. This really doesn't come as a surprise. Knowing this and seeing how this is played out now, it's pretty obvious what the Indian government was doing. Nick called it, and I called it. They were purposely flooding the market to give themselves more advantageous positioning. Now, usually when you pull back and you look behind the scenes, you can see governments that are propagating these, inferring these sorts of bans. They're actually, while the market is taking a hit from their announcement of bans, that they are quietly accumulating a lot of cryptocurrency behind the scenes. So we saw this happen with we see this happen repeatedly with China, and now we are seeing it to a certain degree with India. And I wouldn't be surprised if in another 6 months or so we hear the same thing being introduced, being floated out there, right? I feel like the market's falling for the Chinese government's propaganda in this regard less and less. It's becoming less and less effective. Jason Huffman coming in with a $5 super chat for the karaoke song. Well, I'm glad somebody liked it. Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra. Dean was the man. I really don't feel comfortable answering that question. I have such an immense respect for both of them, respectively. But I mean, if pushed, I guess I'd say Old Blue Eyes, but I really like them both. I would say Frank Sinatra. I would, but I love Dean Martin. Now, the first bar I started going to when I turned of age, when I turned 21, was this old school Italian cocktail lounge, and the owner, he's since passed on about 3 or 4 years ago, Angelo. What an iconic character. Anyway, I would always make sure to dress up very nice. I usually wear suits a lot when attending there. And I was just respectful. I think this endeared... I think consequentially I ended up befriending a lot of the longtime characters there. And he'd often let me stay, invite me to stay after close, just to hang out and shoot the breeze with them. And the owner of this cocktail bar would tell me just the most elaborate, crazy stories about him when he lived in Los Angeles, and that he said he used to tell these crazy tales about how he used to own this really sizable strip club on the Vegas Strip back in the day, and that's how he met the Rat Pack. And the Rat Pack would come in, and they'd all hang out, and they'd all party and together, and all this, that, and the other thing. And he'd go on and on how he's friends with Sammy Davis Jr., friends with Frank Sinatra, friends with even like Tom Jones, and friends with Dean Martin, etc. And I was just like, yeah, okay. You know, I would never say anything about, just take it all in. I'm like, okay, yeah, this seems kind of far-fetched, but I don't know. And then one night, after he let me stay at this bar, he went in back and he brought out a picture book, no lie, about this thick, you guys, about this thick, and he slapped it down on the bar in front of me. And I said, okay, and I looked at him. He said, take a look. That's how you talk. Take a look. So I started flipping through this picture book, and sure enough, guys, there was pictorial documentation of every wild, crazy, magnificent story he told me after bar. There he was with Frank Sinatra. There he was with Frank Sinatra again. Here he was with some Playboy bunnies and Dean Martin. Here he was with some Playboy bunnies and Sammy Davis Jr. Here he was outside of his huge, elaborate gentleman's club. Here he was, you know, at the Bellagio. Here he was. It went on and on and on. And I remember just flipping through this picture book and just being completely blown away in that moment. And I was just like, wow, every wild tale that this man told me was true. That's when it all occurred to me, right? All occurred to me. Wow. Anyway, let's see what's going on. People talking about Johnny Cash. Yeah, I love Johnny Cash. I like Willie Nelson too. I like a lot of classic country. I'm not super big on modern radio country, but I love a lot of classic country. I like, actually for new stuff, I like outlaw country. I like some outlaw country stuff. Some of you may be familiar with that. But you know what? Music's like art. It's a very subjective medium, so everyone's going to have a little bit of different taste, you know? Let's see, what else do we got here? So, again, just to be clear, the Indian government is not banning cryptocurrency. They are just classifying it as a different asset class for taxation purposes. This one comes courtesy of Cointelegraph, gang. Cointelegraph. OK Coin. Now, I know OK Coin because they conducted a meme contest for Dogecoin. Original Dogecoin memes. Billy Marcus and a couple others were asked to be judges of this, and I won one of the top memes. I think they picked 3 winners, and consequently, I got like $100 in Dogecoin. $100 in Dogecoin. That's still sitting on my OKCoin account. Anyway, the story is OKCoin hires former Facebook spokesperson Randy Zuckerberg to grow female user base. With the hiring, OKCoin has many women in key leadership positions, including Hong Kong CEO, including CEO Hong Feng, as well as head of content brand Mandy Campbell. Cryptocurrency exchange OKCoin recently announced Randy Zuckerberg, the sister of Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, it's the sister Mark Zuckerberg. She'll be joining the platform's brand advisory council, and it's aimed to bring more women into crypto. Okay, I mean, that's fine. It's like, it's always kind of weird to me, right? I know this is maybe somewhat of a popular opinion. James Kaminsky, thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way. But it's always kind of like funny to me, like, we need more women in crypto. We need more women in crypto. We need more women in NFTs and crypto. And I'm just like, who's stopping them? If you're living in the first world, who is stopping and preventing women from getting into crypto? You literally just need a smartphone and internet connection, and you can learn all the basics. You could figure it out. Like, there's always been this positioning that there's like some sort of like system that's preventing women from being into crypto. Like, to a certain degree, sometimes you just got to let people's interests be their interests. You know what I mean? And if you pay too much attention, you're trying to put too much time and resources into making sure enough classifications of people are into certain interests, it becomes a rather ridiculous pursuit, in my opinion. You know, sometimes you just gotta let the chips fall where they fall and let people be interested in what they want to be interested in. You know. That being said, Dogecoin has brought more women into cryptocurrency, than any other cryptocurrency out there. I had some statistics and data to confirm this a while ago, but when I went back to look it up, I couldn't find it. And I remember mentioning it to Billy Marcus, because he saw the same stats that I did, and we both posted about it around the same time. But when I went back to confirm it, I couldn't find that data anymore. Anyway. And that's why, I tweeted out the other day, that's why my co-hostess, Sadaf, I have so much respect for her, is because she doesn't make this huge production about being a prominent woman in crypto. She doesn't make a big deal about it. She says she doesn't really think about it. She knows what she's interested in, and she just gets in there. She kicks a lot of ass, and she makes a big name for herself. Right now, she's totally blowing up a great NFT project called Love Monsters on the XRP blockchain. And she hooked up with a really talented artist to do that. She's always about it, man. I talk to Sadaf every day. She hustles hard. This comes courtesy of Michael Saylor and CoinDesk. Get this, you guys. This one actually, this headline took me for a bit of a surprise in a good way. Michael Saylor calls Bitcoin the world's reserve asset, but not so good for buying a cup of coffee. What? Did we hear this from the great Michael Saylor? Michael Saylor, the billionaire founder of business intelligence company turned Bitcoin hot stock MicroStrategy, thinks Bitcoin is the best currency bar none, but he doesn't think it works to buy coffee. You don't want to pay for your coffee with your Bitcoin. You want to pay for your coffee with a currency, Saylor said in an interview with CoinDesk on TV on Wednesday. Saylor believes that Bitcoin is the world's reserve asset, where the dollar is the world's currency. Okay, I don't entirely disagree with that, but I don't think it should stay there. As far as there should be options, viable options to the dollar as the world's currency. And I think you guys know what I'm getting at. So this is pretty major progress for somebody who's such a prominent voice in Bitcoin to come out and say this. Because guess what? It's what I've been saying since I started making content on the air about 9 months ago. I've been saying this. You guys know this. I know this. Bitcoin is an amazing, appreciating asset as to be held as a hedge against fiat. It's great for that. But it has severe limitations in terms of what people will actually be willing to spend every day in a retail space. And I tweeted out, I tweeted at Michael Saylor today. I said, Michael, I agree with you. I agree with your sentiment. Well done. But however, when it comes to the coffee thing, I said, Dogecoin solves this. And that was kind of a little bit of poking a little fun at the Bitcoin maximalists who always say to everything, Bitcoin solves this, Bitcoin solves this, Bitcoin solves this. But in terms of the digital currency that you will pay your coffee for, pay for your coffee, Dogecoin solves this. That's what Dogecoin is designed to do, folks. And we know this, I know this, you know this. We just got to get the rest of the world on board. And I think they are about to get on board. Zombie Doge Army coming with a $5 make you holler. Can I get a Texas toast? You sure can, Zombie Doge Army. Making me bring out the crypto cowboy. I got you, man. I got you. Thank you for the super chat. No problem. A lot of Texas toast emojis just flooding the chat right now. I love it. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. I haven't said Texas toast in a long time. This one's kind of crazy, you guys. This comes courtesy of Futurism. A new tech executive brags that new phone cameras will always be watching you. Every breath you take, every move you make. While announcing his company's latest smartphone processor chip, one tech company executive was not only unperturbed by the phone's camera will always be scanning users' faces, but was actually excited by the prospect. As The Verge reported, Judd Heap, the vice president and product management of Qualcomm Corporation, bragged that the company's new Snapdragon 8 processor chip, which will be 2022's fanciest Android phones, will allow smartphone cameras to always be secretly looking at your face, even if you don't touch it or raise your phone to wake it up. Now, who would be excited about this and why? Those are the questions that come to mind for me. The idea behind this surveillance is similar to the microphone in our phones that are always listening to us. The Verge report noted, but with one major distinction: those microphones only activate on specific words and phrases, like "Hi Siri," and usually can't do much more until your phone is unlocked. I think that's how it should be. In an apparent attempt to quell fears that the phone's always-on cameras could be hacked the way smart home products have been, Heap said the camera's data never leaves and is secure. Yeah, that's fine. But do you want a phone that's constantly watching your face, that's constantly surveilling your face? I already have mixed feelings about the new iPhone that I have that jumped from the fingerprint validation to the Face ID validation. Now, I gotta admit, the Face ID validation is pretty handy when you're logging in and out of different things, but it still makes me uneasy. And taking this next level wherein you have a phone that's constantly surveying your mug while you're sleeping, even when you're sleeping, it knows when you're awake. It's a psychotic Android phone, so you better be good for goodness sake. It's a bit too much, guys. That's just my opinion. Bit too much. At some point in this digital era, the citizens are going to have to stand up and say enough is enough. Corporate interests aren't synonymous with our best interests. My God. Corporate interests are not synonymous with our best interests. I mean, we've already let things slide too far, in my opinion. Mama Crypto says, I am not okay with this. Steven, the link isn't working for becoming a member on the channel. Huh. Let me check it out. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me see what's going on with it, okay? Discord, memberships. It should be working. Is anyone else having trouble with the link working to join for membership? Let me know. Because the link is in the description of every video if you just scroll down and look at the text I have there. But let me know. Let me know. Upcoin technology is getting crazy. Yes, indeed. It definitely is. It's just kind of one of those things where it's a balance, right, between advanced technology and our privacy. It's weird enough in a way. Like, I'm sure most of you have experienced where you will be talking about something, and then all of a sudden, next time you're on Amazon or whatever, you have targeted ads based on what your last conversations were. I mean, that's far enough. I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not, that we lack any legislators to protect us from this sort of thing. In my opinion, that's already gone too far. In my opinion, that's already a severe breach of our privacy and our rights. If your phone's microphone is always on and picking up on all your conversations and keywords that it can apply to targeted ads towards you, that's already too far in my opinion. And it's just a shame that we don't have legislators to protect us from this sort of thing. So I don't know. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, folks? Let's see here. Now, let's get to the last topic of the night, gang. And that is a fun one. The best comedy movies of all time. According to Mental Floss, now celebrating their 20th anniversary, by the way. And they have listed the 30 best comedy movies of all time. Folks, what are your favorite comedy movies? Put it in the chat. Let me know what your favorite comedies are, and we'll see how it stacks up with this list that I have here. Now, It looks like the list that they gave kind of goes in descending order from oldest to newest. So why don't we just go the opposite direction in newest to oldest? It's just that I'm trying to figure out the order. I thought it was in descending order of year. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Okay. I think I'm getting a handle on this article. It's very clumsily laid out. It's very crowded. Okay. So the newest one they have on here is Pop Star, Never Stop Stopping with actually I wanted to see that, and I haven't seen it, so I'm glad it reminded me of it. It's starring, it's kind of a parody off of This Lonely Island with, what's his name, who used to be on Saturday Night Live when it was kind of good. Who? We did see Popstar? Yeah. Do we like it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I guess, was I half asleep or something? Okay, that's why. She said... Yes, yeah, Sandberg. Okay, so that's the most recent one on the list of the top funniest movies ever. Bridesmaid from 2011. I like Bridesmaid. Actually, I think that was really well done. I think everyone was super well cast in that. Kind of known as the female Hangover. I think it was well executed. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Stripes. Okay, that's a good one. Let's see. Monty Python, Holy Grail. Well, you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. I'll keep reading the list and I'll check back with the chat here, see what other picks you guys got. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think Russell Brand did really good in there. Russell Brand plays a really good, like, overly self-absorbed douche. And I think it's because that's not too far away from who he is in some ways. Though I have to say, his podcast that he's been doing, I feel like he's been evolving for the better over the last few years. But yeah, he really plays that self-absorbed, like, egocentric, douchey guy character really well, and he did it really well in Sarah Marshall. Reading Sarah Marshall, I did like that movie. This one I totally agree with to be on the top 30 funniest movies of all time. Shaun of the Dead, 2004. Anyone remember Shaun of the Dead starring Simon Pegg? To me, hands down, his best effort. I feel like Simon Pegg, he put out Hot Fuzz, he put out Shaun of the Dead, and then after that he just did a bunch of crappy rom-coms. What happened, Simon Pegg? You apex so hard and so briefly, and then it just every movie that he's been in since then or had anything to do with was pretty lame. But those two are really good. I love Shaun of the Dead. Absolutely hilarious. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Napoleon Dynamite. Keith says, I think Napoleon Dynamite it belongs in kind of classic comedy. I think so too. It's that script is so funny. Dumb and Dumber. I love it. I love Dumb and Dumber. Blazing Saddles. Yes. That's classic. I like Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks, History of the World Part 1. I have to refresh myself on that one. I do love Mel Brooks, though. Spaceballs. Yes, I love Spaceballs. I mean, John Candy's in it. You can't go wrong with John Candy, guys. And then they have Anchorman in here, of course. 2004's Anchorman. Wow, Shaun of the Dead came out the same year as Anchorman. I feel old. Best in Show. Has anyone ever seen Best in Show? That was kind of like it kind of had the same like documentation style as like Spinal Tap, but it was written and directed by Christopher Guest, who I think is super talented and hilarious. But Best in Show was brilliant in my opinion. I love that show. I love that movie. That's already 21, almost 22 years old now. My God. Clueless. That reminds me of my favorite Snoop Dogg lyric. It goes something like, oh yeah, come on pretty baby, I came to do this, so hurry up and finish so we can watch Clueless. Who would have thought Snoop Dogg, a big Clueless fan. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Princess Bride, absolutely. Yeah, Best in Show is hilarious, like RW says. A lot of Spaceballs fans. I like that. Starship Troopers, I guess it's got a little bit of comedic value to it, but I just think it's just a super well done action, kind of a socio-political message action film. It's actually a pretty deep film. Friday is in the top 30. Friday with Ice Cube in the mix and Chris Tucker. Groundhog's Day. I love Groundhog Day. That's 1993. Taking it back. Groundhog Day, great film. I definitely think Groundhog Day belongs in the top 30. I wholeheartedly agree with that pick. In fact, it's been so long since I watched it, I could stand to watch it again. Fletch is great. Fletch is nonstop. Jokes are flying a mile a minute. You got to really pay attention to get all the jokes in Fletch. They just spit them out that quick. National Lampoon's Vacation. I love all the vacation movies. Well, they made a lot. I should say all of them, because they made some newer ones that are, kind of lackluster. But I really like the first three, even the first four. I think Vegas Vacation was the fourth one they made. But I love European Vacation. Of course, Christmas Vacation is classic, absolute classic. We're naming best comedy movies, guys. That's what's going on, Tim. Let's see what else is on this top 30 list. Wayne's World, 1992. I like Wayne's World. I have no problem with that being in the top list. Swing. We love Wayne's World. And then another one here on the top 30 is Coming to America, 1988. Coming to America, starring the one and only Eddie Murphy, co-starred by Arsenio Hall. Anyone remember Arsenio Hall? Anyone old enough to remember Arsenio Hall? The audience would all go, woo, woo, woo. It's so silly. Anyway, I would not, however, recommend the newest sequel to Coming to America. It's a triumphant turd of a movie, and it's gotten ratioed pretty heartily. So I would not recommend the sequel to Coming to America that Amazon Prime came out with. It's absolutely awful. What else you guys got going on in the chat? Animal House, I think that's a solid pick. RW, can't argue with Animal House. Sharknado, I like Sharknado. I'm cool with it. I like Sharknado. Tropic Thunder, I thought was great. I love Tropic Thunder. Jack. They would never get away with making that movie today. It get canceled so fast. Another one on this list is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I love that movie. Starring John Candy and Steve Martin. Two of the greats. My goodness, yes. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is one of the best movies in the world. That's a John Hughes film, actually, which would surprise some people. John Hughes is most known for movies like Pretty in Pink and stuff like that. But he also wrote and directed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and it really hits home. By the time it comes together, it's actually would qualify as a Christmas movie, actually, because it takes place around that time of year. Really well done. Really, it's a beautiful movie, man. Like, John Hughes, I could do a whole show just talking about and analyzing John Hughes, though that would probably bore most of you guys. But John Hughes had a really keen understanding of the human condition, and also had a really... his movies are actually surprisingly wholesome. You know what I mean? Even though they didn't feel like it on the face, most of his movies felt very edgy. They were simultaneously edgy as they were wholesome, which is a window in time in filmmaking and music that I think harness both of those things simultaneously. That would happen a lot throughout the 80s. It's really hard to get that back. Uncle Buck, great film. Uncle Buck is right up there, man. And Uncle Buck was also another John Hughes film. Yeah, John Candy is just amazing. I miss John Candy, man. John Candy is one of those few celebrity deaths that, like, it actually, like, hit me. Like, I felt that. Like, man, we lost one of the greats there, man. John Candy is amazing. Big Lebowski, can't argue with that. That is definitely up there. Good pick, Mama Crypto. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You guys are naming a lot of great ones. Yeah, I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think it belongs in the top 30. I don't know if it's on this top 30, but I definitely think it belongs there. Mike Tracy, thank you for that. Mikey music. Step Brothers. Yeah, I love Step Brothers. Step Brothers is hilarious. I could see that. I think that qualifies as one of the best comedies. Sure. Let's see. We got Princess Bride, 1987. Princess Bride. That's a good feel-good movie. That's got really great cast. I love that guy. I forget the name of him, but he's in the movie. He's like a shorter guy. He's bald, and he says, "Inconceivable, inconceivable." You guys know what I'm talking about? That guy. Whoever that guy is, he's freaking awesome. I love that guy. Another one on here is Lost in America, 1985. That one I'm going to have to put a feather in my cap and check it out myself. Yeah, Albert Brooks, Lost in America. I'm actually taking a quick screenshot of this because I'm going to look it up later. I can't comment on it at all. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Born in East LA. Cheech and Chong. No one said that yet, Link. But yeah, Born in East LA is total classic. Yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire, RW. Oh yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a good feel-good movie, right? Let's see. She's saying Grandma's Boy. I never see Grandma's. I like Grandma's Boy. My favorite scene in Grandma's Boy is when the main protagonist shows up that one guy in a round of Dance Dance Revolution or a game like it. I think that's my favorite thing in that movie. But yeah, that's a good movie too. Someone says Superbad. I love Superbad. In fact, I recently kind of watched it repeatedly for like a week straight. I just kind of had it on the background, and I think Superbad aged phenomenally. And it also showed me how much better of an actor that what's his name is than Seth Rogen. You know his name. Yeah, Jonah Hill. So, yeah, Jonah Hill is so much better of an actor than Seth Rogen. In fact, the more time goes on, the more I just cannot stand Seth Rogen. He is so smug. He is so smug. He's the smuggiest smug. And all he does is laugh and go, that's all he does. Jonah Hill, on the other hand, Jonah Hill is awesome. Risky Business, phenomenal movie. That's actually one of those... Risky Business is a surprisingly sophisticated movie. It was marketed not as such, but the actual film and the soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, brilliant instrumental soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, just phenomenal. I know I lost a lot of viewers talking about movies, but I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, his band was on the Super Troopers too.
Yeah, the whole soundtrack they did.
Did they do the whole soundtrack?
Yep.
Eagles of Death Metal?
Yeah.
I knew they did part of it. I didn't know they wow. Yeah, McLovin. Yeah, McLovin, where are you, Irish? Yeah. Yeah, The Gods Must Be Crazy. You guys are coming up with some really good ones. Gods Must Be Crazy is a phenomenal movie. Ghostbusters is on this list too. Can't beat it. The original Ghostbusters. Bill Murray is just, how can you not love Bill Murray? He's just phenomenal. Tootsie, with starring Dustin Hoffman, who played a woman in 1982. I actually should probably watch that again. I remember seeing it as a kid, but I don't remember retaining a lot of it. But I think Tootsie, I am actually kind of curious to check out Tootsie. 9 to 5 starring Dolly Parton, 1985, is in the top comedies on this list. I think that's fair. I love Dolly Parton. She's awesome. She's an American. She's classic Americana. Airplane, 1980 Airplane. I love Airplane. Written and produced by two brothers. They did a phenomenal job. And, of course, starring Leslie Nielsen, who later went on to do lots of hilarious stuff, most notably The Naked Gun. What do we got in here? Clerks is good. Yeah, Clerks. I think I'm caught up on what you guys are saying. Okay, so... Oh, The Jerk. The Jerk with Steve Martin, right, guys? The Jerk with Steve Martin. My favorite scene in The Jerk is when he's, all I need is this chair. And then he keeps adding on, all I need is this chair, and this Frisbee, and then this, and he just keeps adding on to it. That was 1979, wow. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, guys. That makes the top 30 as well. I know a few of you mentioned that one. I love that. Can't argue with that. Young Frankenstein, 1974 is on the list. Blazing Saddles, also from 1974 is on the list. MASH, 1970. I haven't seen the movie. Doctor Strangelove, 1964. I have seen that, but it's been a while. The Apartment, starring Jack Lemmon in 1962. Aesthetically, it looks really cool. Bringing Up Baby, 1938. Now we're getting to ones that I've never seen because they're from the 30s and 40s. I can't say that I'd like to say that I'm just this incredible film aficionado, and I could tell you all about these great movies from the 30s and 40s. But to be honest, I don't know a lot about film from the 30s and 40s. I could tell you, I could talk your ear off about films from the 80s and 90s. Anyway, let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat about this. The Jerk, he hates these cans. Yes. Bill Murray is funny in just about everything. Speaking of which, who has seen, gosh, the soundtrack was so good. It had kind of like all like obscure kind of like garage rock bands on it and stuff like that. The Creation. Dun, 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 dun. Rushmore. Anyone ever see Rushmore with Bill Murray? Brilliant film. I remember I watched Rushmore with a gal that I was seeing probably about two-ish years ago, and she had never seen it before. She was much younger, but I remember just watching her watching the movie. It was more enjoyable than me rewatching the movie because she was just like, "Whoa, this is super cool! How come I've never heard of this film?" I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. Rushmore. I can't remember the name of the other guy, the kid in it, who was very young at the time. He went on to do a lot of films, and he had like a band in LA that did some stuff. Jason something. Anyway, Rushmore is awesome with Bill Murray. Can't recommend it enough. Empire Record, yeah. Is Empire Records the one with Rexy, so sexy? Is that the one? Yeah. Rexy, so sexy. That's my favorite. Mole more. Yeah, that song. That is my favorite part about that film. That is like Peter Pants funny. Yeah, they don't make them like that. You got that right. I think I'm caught up on your comments, guys. Anyway, I think this about winds down this episode of Midnight Mass. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Thanks for mixing it up with me into the late night. Due to popular demand, I'm going to keep doing it at least one, maybe two midnight masses a week. I enjoy them. I'm a night owl. I'm down with it. A lot of you guys are either night owls and or third shift workers, judging by all the feedback I've gotten from you guys. So I'm going to keep up the midnight mass at least once a week, perhaps twice a week. And it's actually been working out good for my schedule because it allows me to even get more work done that I need to get done beforehand anyway. So it works out well. Anyway, guys, if you're not already following me on my new Twitter, make sure you're doing that. It's I'm going to put the link in the chat momentarily because I'm phasing out my old Twitter and I'm bringing in the new. And the new is where the party's at, and you'll find out if you do that. Oh, what a place to stay. That's a Technotronic quote. But seriously, if you haven't already, give me a follow on my new Twitter. We're having so much fun over there, mixing it up, super active there. Anyway, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for the super chats. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for just being awesome. I will be back tomorrow night with a co-host. Not sure which one yet, but we'll be back tomorrow night at the more usual time, 9-ish p.m. Central Standard Time. Until next time, guys, this is Steele signing out.